It was a day that was meant to be special, but for Fiz Stape, her birthday was quickly turning into a disaster she wouldn't soon forget. Sitting at the bistro with Tyrone Dobbs, she had hoped for a rare moment of peace and celebration, away from the daily stresses of life. Her daughters, Hope and Ruby, were settled for the evening, and for once, the chaos of their busy household seemed far away. But nothing in Fiz and Tyrone's life could ever remain simple for long. The day had already started with an uncomfortable cloud hanging over them. Earlier this year, Alina Pop had returned to Manchester, not alone, but with a little boy in tow, Doran. It hadn't taken long before Alina dropped the bombshell. Doran was Tyrone's son. The news had shaken their lives to the core. Despite their attempts to keep a brave face, it was impossible to ignore the strain the revelation had placed on their relationship. Still, Fiz had tried to push the worries aside for the sake of her birthday. But just as they sat down, raising a glass to toast, Tyrone's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, expecting nothing more than a casual message from a mate. But as he read the text, his face paled. "What is it?" Fiz asked, already sensing the worst. "It's Hope," Tyrone muttered. "She's been caught vaping at school." Fiz felt her heart drop. Hope, their fiery, unpredictable daughter, was never far from trouble, but this was unexpected. Hope was only 13, and while they knew she struggled to fit in at Weatherfield High, they had no idea she'd turn to something like this. They left their half-eaten meals behind and rushed home to confront her. At first, Hope was defiant, arms crossed and chin jutted out as she sat on the sofa, ready for the usual lecture. Fiz and Tyrone scolded her, telling her about the dangers of vaping, the damage it could do to her body, and how disappointed they were. But Hope, ever the rebel, was not in the mood to listen. "It's just a vape. Everyone at school is doing it. You don't understand anything," she snapped. Fiz's patience wore thin. "We're your parents, Hope. We understand more than you think. You can't just go around doing things because everyone else is." But Hope only glared at her, unflinching. The more they spoke, the more the situation spiraled out of control, until Hope stormed upstairs, slamming the door behind her. "Great birthday, huh?" Fiz muttered to Tyrone, her voice heavy with exhaustion. Tyrone wrapped an arm around her shoulders, but even his warmth couldn't melt the tension that filled the room. The next day, Hope's rebellion escalated. She snuck into Dev's shop after school, eyeing the shelf behind the counter where the vapes were stored. When Adi caught sight of her, his eyebrows raised in suspicion. He had always liked Hope, but even he could tell she was on the edge of something dangerous. "Hope, what are you doing?" Adi asked, stepping closer as he noticed her swipe a couple of vapes and drop some on the floor in her haste. Hope froze, caught between the temptation of continuing her reckless behavior and the fear of getting caught. Adi's gaze was steady as he waited for her to respond. Would he report her to her parents, or would he keep her secret? The uncertainty lingered in the air, leaving Fiz's already troubled world teetering on the brink of further chaos.